why do runners necessarily need specialty clothing? Why can't they just go out in their old sweatpants and call it good?
We have 3 reasons of why we have specialty clothing here. And the first is comfort. Okay. Second would be how to dress here in Cache Valley for cold winter days as it dips below 0. Wow. And third is safety.
Okay. So how do we address those then? Comfort first of all. What are we looking for?
Comfort, you want to find something that you can go out and you're not going to chafe in as you're running. Okay. And so it's got to be comfortable as soon as you put it on, and not too loose that it's going to rub you in the wrong way. So our mannequin here, we can go over a couple of points. Yeah. Now that it's cooler weather, tights are very important. And we have winter tights, and then we have cold weather, harsh condition tights. Okay. And winter tights would be early fall, winter, beginning of winter, like temperatures that are between 15 and 30. Okay. You just a tight. Okay. And it keeps you from chafing in your legs at all. And then a winter tight will have a wind panel right here in this area. Oh, really? And as you are out running in the snow and it drops below 0, this will protect you in areas that you won't get too cold and you can keep running. Okay. And when snow kicks up on the calves, it will have some of that windbreak there, so it won't get into your ankles and calves.
Really? Again, fascinating to me. Is this where the layering comes in?
Yes, and one of the things here in Cache Valley, as it gets cold, you really do need thin wicking layers. And wicking just means pull the sweat off of your body. Okay. And that's why you don't want sweats on. It's a cotton material usually, and it's going to keep the sweat against you. Okay. So as the temperatures drop, I would put a base layer on, which is it's a tight layer. So it's sitting right against your skin. It's a second skin, and that's going to pull the sweat off of you. Okay. And then as the temperatures drop more, then you put the jacket on it. Okay. And the jacket for a cool day is like this, a technical jacket, wicking material, keep the sweat away. And then you get the jackets that are windproof, water resistant. Wow. And when it's January and it's 10 below, you might end up wearing those 3 layers, but they're thin layers.
Yes, because often when I'm, sort of driving around or out walking and you see people in these little tiny outfits, you think, wow, how are they staying warm? But it's down to the layering.
Yes, and the movement. And so that's, so you do need comfort, but then you need to layer correctly and making sure that you don't wear any cotton, and you do want a tight layer underneath and then a wicking material and then a wind jacket on top of that. Okay. Then let's talk about safety. Right. Now this is really important. If you notice, our tights have huge hits of reflectivity down the sides. Okay. It's going to be in the seams where they've sewn in reflective threads. Really? And they have hits, we call them in the industry hits. So it's reflective material on the back. So you will be seen. So when car lights shine on you, that's going to show up.
Well, because it's getting dark really early these days, so this is vital for your safety.
So some of our hats have the reflective hits right here up on the visor, if you can see that.
Yeah, right here and there.
This is a light spur that you can literally put on the back of your shoe, and it becomes a light when you turn it on, and reflectivity. Oh, so you can be running, Wellsville Canyon, and you will be seen with that. Yeah. This time of year is my favorite time to go to wool socks. I wear wool socks year-round, but I go a little higher on the up over the cuff sleeve, just so it goes over my ankle, and then my tights will come down over that, so my ankles won't get cold. And wool is such a fabulous, the merino wool is such a fabulous soft material, but it continues to pull water away from your body.
And you were talking before about socks. Is this why they're so important? Because they're pulling all that stuff away and you're not going to get blisters and what have you?
Exactly. Okay. We don't want the salt crystals on your feet. We don't want the sweat on your feet. Okay. So get a sock that's technical, that's going to pull all of that off. Okay. So our light spur. And then in the early winter, it's still cold outside, but you don't need the jacket. So we have these wonderful arm sleeves, very technical. You put them on, it goes over your thumb, but it also, your first mile might be a little cold, so it also has a little flip over that can become like a little glove. Yeah. And then as you get as you get warmed up, you can pull that off, you can take it off. This is what arm sleeves are really about. Wow. You can wear a short sleeve shirt, but then put the arm sleeves on and you've got a nice...
And if you do need to take them off, it's not like carrying around a great big coat. You just stick them in your pocket and keep going.
Exactly.
Great.
That is the arm sleeve.
Yeah.
This time of year, the headgear is pretty simple. You can wear a full hat, or you can wear the ear warmers. This is a little bit of fleece. It pulls the sweat off of your forehead, but because you do get so hot when you're running, hats sometimes are too warm, but you don't want your ears cold because the wind's coming out of the canyon. This is a fabulous second guess if you don't want to wear that. This is one of our base layers that for the women. It's just a tighter shirt that you wear as the base layer.
Okay.
And that's just to pull the sweat off. It is a technical fabric. It really is a thin layer, but if you're wearing it right and you're moving, you'll be just fine in it.
Any of this clothing have the UV protection in it?
All of them. They do.
Fabulous.
And this is one of our women's running jackets. And even if you rub the front of it, you can hear that it is a water-resistant, windproof.
Yeah.
But you don't want it all the way windproof, because as you are running, you're going to get sweaty. You need that sweat to get off of your body.
So it needs to be able to breathe
Yes.
somewhere.
So don't go out and buy a whole jacket that's completely waterproof, because you do need areas that you're breathing. So it's not just for looks. There's a reason. This has knobs on little tiny squares, felt squares. That's to push it off your skin. So when the water is, when it's raining really hard, sometimes a wind-resistant jacket will just sit against your skin and the water will soak in. But because this has these little felt squares, it's going to keep it up off the skin.
Okay.
And it can't stick to you.
Does this have the reflective things in it too?
Very much so.
Yeah.
You know, just all over the front.
Yeah. So, I mean, anywhere you're running, and it doesn't matter how dark it is, you're going to be seen in all this kind of clothing. Tell us where you are and where we can get this fabulous stuff.
Runners North in Providence, Utah, 555 West, 100 North, across the street from Macy's and next to Little Caesars.
Okay. Very knowledgeable. This is where you need to be. Thanks, Heather.